it's iTunes. It's like everybody who is buying something on iTunes is possibly buying that album.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Nothing on you. I mean, obviously huge. Huge. Is there? Tell us the story behind that. Because is that a real girl that you're talking about, or is it just?
It's like the proverbial idea of what a guy would say to his girl if the incident of infidelity came up, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean, or a guy just came back from a strip club or something.
Yeah.
Like, where have you been? Why is there lipstick smeared on your collar?
Right.
There's no lipstick on my face. I'm not talking about on your
Yeah, you're like, no, not on the face. That's the issue. So it's basically an explanation of what you might say to your girl if she's going, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, I'm like, it's like just don't worry about it. They got nothing on you.
Now, when you write, do you like, this real life experiences, or do you like, what about this scenario? Something maybe you encounter or your friends you see happening with, or?
It's a little bit of everything. I feel like it, regardless if it's something you may see or if it's a friend, it's gotta be close enough to home to where there's some believability in it when you're talking about it.
Right.
So I feel like, me, naturally, it's a song that I feel like a lot of artists can relate to.
Yeah.
A lot of people are musicians or artists or just, in some form or fashion, model actors or whatever. And I feel like it's something that hits close to home for a lot of people, which is, what makes it that way.
Now, I mean, Nothing on You reacted real quick when we played it. It was like, bam, instant request. But I'm going to tell you, Airplanes is reacting even faster. Like, we played that the first time, the phones exploded. Like, what was that? Who was that? What's going on? Because it sounds so different from anything that's out right now. And when you were making, that's just kind of that is who you are, though. Yeah. Like, I'm excited to listen to the whole album because it's not like, I'm not dissing any other rappers, but it's not like you're a typical Atlanta rapper. Yeah. It's different. Yeah. It's a little bit more in depth, and you're a little bit more broad.
Yeah, and the album, it even has that. It even, songs like Bet I on the album have that. That Atlanta feel. It has everything. It's not just the Atlanta.
Right.
It's like it has the Atlanta Southern influences in it, but it expounds on it. It lets people know, okay, Atlanta is more than just what you've been seeing on radio or on TV. You know what I mean? So it kind of takes it there.
No, it is. How did you link up with Haley?
Haley, man, I love Paramore, man. I've always been wanting to work with just the band or somebody, the drummer or somebody.
The roadies, whatever.
And so, it's crazy because it just kind of manifested. I don't know what all happened. You never really know everything that happens, but eventually I got to work with her, and it was really, it was like, it's all surreal. All of it, every feature I have on this album is surreal because in some form or fashion, these people have influenced me. I would say the most would be Eminem.
I was gonna say in Airplanes Part 2, Eminem, and he just doesn't go on anybody's album.
Definitely.
He doesn't just like make guest appearances and features for fun.
Yeah.
He really must respect you as an artist if that's the case because he does his research. So, go up.
Almost sneezed.
Oh, okay, almost sneezed.
A little sickness, little illness now.
No, but that's a huge compliment to you as an artist. If he wants to, did you approach him or how did it happen?
Well, his manager Paul Rosenberg played him "I'll Be in the Sky," and that's the song that kind of caught his attention, and he was like, okay, this guy's kind of crazy,
Yeah.
And so after playing him a few songs, he wanted to get in the studio with me. And when I got in the studio with him, then he kind of saw the full extent of everything that I did, and just playing the keys and guitar and everything. We were just vibing around, and eventually, after a few days of vibing out, I'm like real musical, playing melodies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he grabs me the shoulder. He's like, "Bob, come to the dark side."
Really?
Yeah.
You're like, uh-oh.
Do. It's like, but it's crazy how everything happened, man. And we ended up with, we recorded a few songs, but Airplanes, of course, is the one that took the cake.
Yeah, it's both. Both your songs were on the countdown last night. It was like crazy. It was like back-to-back song. It was like 2 and 3 on the countdown. That's got to be a cool feeling. Like, do you remember the first time you heard your song on the radio?
The first time I heard my song on the radio was I'm sorry that signature just caught my.
Oh yeah, there's a little autograph board behind us. Oh yeah, and somebody drew a naked lady. I don't know, Dr. Ray, one of those, a plastic surgeon. Either way, he's looking at boobs behind us. Is what we're saying.
Boobs on boards.
Yeah, boobs on boards.
So anyway, what was the question?
The first time you heard your song,
yeah,
do you remember where you were at, what you were doing?
Okay, so it was Cloud 9. This was like 07. I was in Atlanta, and I was actually at the radio station. You know, most of the time, you know, you just have to hope that you'll hear it one day. When you leave the radio station, you have to hope they play it. And Greg Street played Cloud 9 like 5 times. And each time it was more exciting than the last time. It was like, he played it again. Then he played it again. And it's like, it's crazy because, you know, you just working so hard to eventually have your song on the radio, man. It's like there's this magical feeling. It's almost like
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Is that the song that linked you up with Jim Johnson, kind of like, sort of?
Cloud 9, definitely. When I performed it at T.I.'s Club Crucial.
That's it, yeah.
That connected me to Jim Johnson, and eventually, you know, I signed with Atlantic. And, you know, Rebel Rock, Jim Johnson's record label was on Atlantic. And then shortly after that, we did a joint venture with Grand Hustle, and everything just kind of, you know, just
molded.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the hardest part about being a new artist? Because it's tough, especially nowadays. Seems like it's harder than ever.
Definitely, because you have a lot. The playing field is very broad. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there. It's not like you can just be like the new artist, the new hot thing. You know, you can't just say something.
People like prove it. Go.
It's like,
Tell me, show me you're hot.
It's like, okay, you did a mixtape, you did a show, you perform. Even if you're on TV, you know, even if you're doing something, that's still not. You know, you really have to do. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I mean, I guess it's just hits. You gotta have hits.
Yeah, it's gotta just be something good. It's gotta be something exciting. It's gotta be. You have to put yourself in the place of the consumer. I feel like nowadays, because what are you looking at? You know, like as an artist, if you were an aspiring artist, what are you buying? What are you looking at? What catches your attention? And think about that. Just flip the tables.
What is it? What are some other artists I mean, obviously Eminem being one of your influences that you like. What other artists have you kind of like? Not inspired to be like, but you grew up maybe listening to, because you're still young.
This is a story I always tell all the time, because it's something so simple that if the story was altered in the slightest way, everything would be completely different.
Really?
But my brother I was in 3rd grade. My brother, he's like 7 years older than me, so I guess he was in high school maybe, middle school, I don't know. So he found a $20 bill on the ground, and you know, the odds of finding a $20 bill on the ground, you know, in my entire life, I found like maybe 2.
Yeah, right.
In 21 years. So he found a $20 bill, and he went to go buy the DMX album. It's Dark and Hell is Hot.
Oh, yeah.
And that album that's how I learned how to rap, from that album.
Wow. That's crazy.
Fate. Right? Crazy.
That is fate.
And, you know, just... I guess as a kid, because, you know, my childhood was kind of, well, for me, I was in this, like, real dark zone, so I guess artists like Eminem and DMX were, like, that's what I gravitated. Yeah. And it's crazy because I'm not really, like, a dark type.
I was going to say, you're not really you don't have a dark, like, influence or, like, depth to you, but, I mean, I guess you could reach that. Yeah. I was like, DMX, have you got to meet DMX? And tell him?
No, I haven't got to meet him yet.
We can go to prison maybe one day and meet him. You know?
It's funny because I was supposed to meet him when I was a kid. Like, my dad worked somewhere, and somebody knew him or something weird, but I didn't get to meet him.
You don't want to meet him now because they'll probably ask you for money. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just being honest. All right, well, go get the album. Check it out. The Adventures of Bobby Ray. The features. I mean, you got 2 hits. Airplanes, Nothing on You. And what other features are on there? We know Eminem, Haley.
Let's grab this thing.
Yeah, grab it.
Grab this album.
Let's take a look.
It's crazy. I got to look at my own album. We got Janelle Monáe on there, Bruno Mars, of course.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Lupe Fiasco's on the album.
Love that.
B.O.B's on the album.
Nice.
You gotta have him on there.
Yeah.
That'd be, it'd be kind of empty if he wasn't on there. Man, it's just a really dope project, man. The graphic work. It's the type of album where you want to buy it just to have it, just to have.
I figure it's kind of one of these albums that you put on and you just leave it on.
And
just let it go.
From the jump, it's good because from the jump it's good. And, you know, I'm not saying it just because it's my album
No.
or anything, you know.
Of course not. Do you get nervous when people, like, because I've heard a couple people say, like, you're the next Kanye West, and they compare you. Do you get nervous when it's, like, comparisons like that?
No, not really. I guess I think it's more so the feeling and the excitement behind it, you know, because each, you know, when Kanye West came out with College Dropout, it was like,
Yeah.
it was like, yeah, you know, some music.
But it reminds me of that whole, like, because I remember when that came out, it's kind of the same. I don't want to say it's the same, but it's very that same feel. Like, this is big. It's not just another album coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so congrats, man. We really appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks, man. I'm glad. Check that out now.
I'm going to check it out.
Put it in.
I'm putting it in the Escort when I get in the. I'm putting the Escort. Roll hard, windows down, B.O.B. Thank you, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you, dude.
I appreciate it.
No problem. I got a gimpy hand, so.